So, welcome to Boxing Media Hub, proudly in partnership with Falcon Contracting and Jams Boxing Chat. And with me now, I've got Stephen Robinson. How you doing, Stephen?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Honestly, pleasure to have you on. It's taken long enough, isn't it?
Mate, I'm a nightmare. I apologise, I'm just 110 mile an hour all the time, so I apologise. But thank you for having us.
I just want to say, I know you've been through some tough times recently, and there's been lots going on. So I honestly appreciate the time. So it means a lot. But yeah, 9 fights, 6 wins, 4 KOs. Let's start there, shall we? It's going well, mate. And you don't pick an easy fight. I think that's the best way to describe it, isn't
it? It's been a journey of ups and downs, and it's been a journey that I never expected to happen. It's been a journey that started in 2014 off the back of an injury playing football to lose weight and help with my mental health. And I'm now telling the story to kids around schools, and being just a kid from a council estate with no GCSEs, with no ambition, with no hope, to boxing on Sky. It doesn't matter what my record says. It doesn't matter what I do within the sport. All that matters is that I'm inspiring, kids who have no hope to believe in themselves, and that to me is a win-win without anything else within the sport.
And like you say about the losing weight side and getting fit and giving yourself purpose, your physique now is ridiculous. Can you stop?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You've almost worked so hard, mate, that it's almost like it's always been. Do you know what I mean? That mentality, and I know it hasn't always been, but the way you are now, the focus you've got now, and how you are with your family, are just full credit to you, mate.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but it comes with a massive negative side effect. I suffer really bad with body dysmorphia, and people don't realise the psychological things that people go through. I've been fat and I never want to get there again. So, I spend 90% of the time in the gym, and sometimes I get told, you're not coming in the gym, you're having a rest, and I get kicked out of the gym, and I'll end up finding another gym to go and train at. I'm my own worst nightmare, but what helps us up there is the gym, and it's saved me life, and it's a fantastic place to go for your mental health. And as I say, the physique and the shape, it comes with unfortunate negative things as well. So there's always people struggling that people don't really realize, and that's why I'm a big advocate for mental health, and for those struggling who don't really talk about it, or who don't realise they're struggling. Because hadn't I have been diagnosed with body dysmorphia 3 years ago, I probably wouldn't have even heard of it. I probably wouldn't have even knew what that was. And getting an explanation of why I am the person I am, and the trauma of being that I have been the fat kid, and I had X amount of weight on, and it happens, and unfortunately, like I say, it comes with a cost as well as being in good shape as with other things. So, but I appreciate the acknowledgement of the shape I'm in and the hard work that I'm putting in.
Yeah, and as I say, I just think you're an inspiration. Like I said, I met you that day, Buatsi versus Aziz, to which you had a cracking fight. We'll get into that. God, I've never seen a guy that actually stayed on his feet and gave it as much as he could. The girl sat next to me as we were there as media was just screaming for you the whole time, and she was going, "He is just incredible." And I think that's just credit to you. You are an absolute warrior, and when people come to see you fight, they know for a fact, don't they, Stephen, that you just give 100%. You go in there and it's do or die, and you will literally give everything. You know,
Yeah.
absolutely spot on. There's a couple of people in the comments first. Big up, guys, from Jam's Boxing Chat. And Ra, evening both. I last met you both in the same spot at Brentwood. So yeah, it was cracking, to be honest. Stephen, any luck getting some tune-ups before going back in with the higher level guys, says Ra.
Nah, fuck tune-ups. I'm 33. There's no tune-ups happening. Nah, listen, Raw. I've got a lot of time for Raw. I like Raw a lot, and we had this conversation in Brentwood, and tune-ups on for me. Other than Phil Williams, which wasn't meant to happen, my opponent pulled out. And Phil Williams, for credit to him, twice stepped in. And credit to Phil, but take nothing away from that. That wasn't the fight that I was meant to be having. It was never the fight that was supposed to be at. I left the GB squad. I started with the 6th round against somebody, with five losses, 3 wins, coming off the back of a good win, and then after that I had a Russian with 1 fight, 1 win, and then Phil Williams come along, which wasn't meant to happen. I was meant to be fighting a German with 13 fights, 9 wins, 4 losses, and that never got sanctioned. And then the second time I fought Phil Williams on the Wasserman card again, that was meant to be against Czechoslovakian. I can't think of his name. He's quite well known. He's fought loads. It was meant to be him. My mind's gone blank. But again, Phil Williams stepped in. It's the tune-up fight's on for me. I never got into boxing to be a ticket seller or a padded record person. I got into boxing for nothing but my mental health, and I've got my GB vest, which is just unbelievable, crazy, and to have received that, I've got an ABA final in my name. I've got 44 amateur fights, an English title amateur, and 6 losses to that record, and 3 of them come from Delicious Oreo that's just been to the Olympics.
Yeah.
So it's a funny one, because I just don't see myself. I won't be able to motivate myself. Motivation's my everything. Being motivated, having something to work towards, and for me, I know I won't be motivated fighting someone and seeing the record of 33 losses, 2 wins.
Yeah.
I just know that for me, I won't train, I won't spar. It's just not
give you the get up, is it?
It's not an incentive. It's not an incentive for me. It's not an incentive for my sponsors. It's not an incentive for anyone. And I just think to myself, for what? So I have 2 of them. I have 2 tune-up fights, and then I go in against somebody, who's up there, and then what do I gain? I gain nothing, because people say, oh, okay, he's fought 2 bums and then he's lost again, or he's won. Or I go in against these people again, and my credit's already there. People are already expecting us to be down there, so I win and I'm back up there, exactly the same as what happened with Nick Campbell. Listen, I know my worth, and I know why I've lost the last few fights. And there'll be some big news coming in the next sort of 2 weeks of I'm not a man to make excuses. I've never ever sat and made excuses, but within the next 2 weeks, there's a massive operation happening, which it stems back from 3 years ago. And once that operation happens, and people see what I've actually been dealing with, what I've been boxing with, and then when it's redemption from then on out. So fuck tune-ups. I'm in the sport. I'm in the sport to do, you know, to make a statement, and I know my worth. I know what I'm about, and
Yeah.
the statement will come. Come the 10th of October, once this operation's out of the way, I'm telling you now, come January, February, the statement will be made again. I couldn't give a shit who's put in front of us. I really don't care.
Honestly, mate. Well, that'll keep Ra quiet for a little bit longer.
But Ra, I love you.
After all that, he does like you, Ra, but just no tune-ups. I think that's
no tune-ups. But if Ra can lend us his Undertaker hat for my next ring walk, I'll walk out with an Undertaker.
To be fair, I think that'd suit you, to be honest, mate. I think it'd suit you. Is the northern area a goal? Says Sam at SWS Boxing.
Nah. The only three heavyweights they are my pals, and unless there was 500,000 put on the table, I'm not fighting my pals. Listen, morals come to me a million times more than a belt or money, and these kids I'm with them in their journey. They're with me in my journey. And there's Declan Fusco, there's Will Howe, and there's Michael Webster, and there's no money on the table will take my morals away and make me fight one of them three. Whether they want to fight each other, that's down to them. But me personally, it's not happening.
No, fair shout, mate. Jam's Boxing Chat. This has blown my interview to bits. You're a true legend of boxing. There you go, mate. Everyone knows Drago. I'd love to see you back in with Babic. I think you could take him in a rematch. Hell of a bout.
100. Listen. You watch that fucking fight back. I fought with one arm for 7 rounds. And there was absolutely not one shot where I thought, fucking hell, that hurt. Like, not one. Give me 2 hands and put me back with Ignatius or Babic, please. Please. I will never disrespect Franklin, nor will I disrespect Babic. They didn't know anything about what was going on with injuries, what was going on behind closed doors. They knew nothing. All they had to do was turn up and beat me, and they've done that. And I'd never disrespect that. But I 1,000,000% want the rematch for both of them. 1,000,000%. Nothing, no disrespect to them, no disrespect to them as people, no disrespect to their ability, but I want them rematches when I'm fully fit and fully healed.
Honestly, that fight with Babic was unreal, Stephen. I'm not gonna lie. When I was sat there though in media, some of the shots you were throwing at that guy were unreal. And when people were, because he was landing some shots, a lot were on the gloves and all over the place. Because I think Babic is a wild fighter, isn't he? He is what he says on the tin. He's relentless.
I thought he would have tired out in the 4th or the 5th, but he just kept coming. And listen, fair play to the bloke. He was fit as a fiddle. As I say, I thought he'll start to. I remember going back to my corner in the 4th, and Mark said to us, he says, "I'm holding the towel," and I went, "You fucking dare hold that towel!" And I went, "He's gonna tire out. Give it another round, and he'll tire out." I give him another round, he hadn't tired out. I give him another round, he hadn't tired out. I thought, oh, yeah. He was like a Duracell battery. He just kept on coming, and like I say, fair play to him. You know, I don't know if he had a pint of diesel before he fought us or what have you, but he did. He kept on coming and kept on coming. And as I say, credit to Babic, and I like Alan. I like his coaches, and I've got a lot of time for him. In the press conference and the build-up, I thought he was a dickhead, and I told him that straight. But after the fight, I had a lot of respect for him. He come in the change rooms and he shook my hand and he says, "Listen, fair play to you." So I've got a lot of time for. I've got a lot of respect, and I've got a lot of time for every male and female that steps in that ring. regardless of what goes on behind closed doors, regardless of what they say, the respect I have at any level, amateur, unlicensed, professional, you know, any level you're at, the respect I have for people going in that ring in any sport is monumental. They deserve massive amounts of credit. And I hate when I see shit online about people and how shit someone is. And you're seeing it all with Anthony now, and it's
Yeah,
absolutely ridiculous. You know,
yeah,
people are
100%.
telling them to quit, and you know, he's had a bad day, and it is what it is. You live and you learn from your mistakes. And imagine everyone quit work because they've had a bad day. No one would have a job. You know,
Yeah, gonna say.
Keir Starmer would be rubbing his hands you know, at the dole queue. But you know, if everybody had a bad day, if you dropped a tin of beans at Tesco and just walked out, or you know, if you didn't sell enough mobile phones at EE, or you didn't hit your target, you know, you flooded something whilst you were doing a roofing job or a plumbing job, and you just walked out and you quit and you said, "That's me done. I'm never plumbing again. I'm never roofing again. I'm never working in Tesco again." Well, no, it's no different to us. It's a job. So if we have a bad day, like anybody can have a bad day, anybody can have a bad day, the personal life or the work life, shit happens. Nobody knows what was going on behind closed doors with Anthony. Nobody knows, you know. But to say that he needs to quit and that he's done and he's dusted, the man's a two-time world champion and an Olympic gold medalist. And inspires kids all over the world. He's just sold out 96,000 people in Wembley. 96,000 people have spent hard-earned money to go and see. Okay, so maybe 10 of them were there for Daniel, but say 75% of them were there to see Anthony. 75% of
Incredible.
people like he's inspiring, and their kids are watching, and another millions of people is watching on TV that are looking at him and thinking he was selling cannabis, got kicked out of, was going to prison, was a gangster 12 years ago, then got into boxing, become an Olympic world medalist and then a gold medalist and a two-time world champion. So why can't the other kid that's just, being arrested or part of a crime, why can't he do it? Because he can. You see it in films all the time. Coach Carter, Gridiron Gang. These are true stories. You have to be, your own. You have to create your own destiny. You have to be the hero of your own story. And people like Anthony are doing that and proving to people that they can be and can do that. And then you've got dickheads on social media saying he needs to quit, he needs to hang up his gloves, his shit. Say, oh, please, they're not fit enough to lace the man's gloves, never mind sit and talk about them.
Yeah, yeah. And we spin that the other way as well, to be fair. When we turn around and we talk about Daniel Dubois against Joe Joyce, brutal injury to the eye socket, yet known as a quitter. Do you know what I mean? And if he had a quit, he wouldn't have had what he's got now. Look what he's just done. He's just proved, doesn't he, that the hard work, the dedication, having the right people around you as well is so important to be able to piece your back together and say, do you know what? You are worth something. And look what he's just achieved. Incredible. Yeah, he blew away my prediction. I hold my hands up. I thought Anthony was going to get the job done, but Daniel went in. What a performance!
He's done his last 3 fights.
Incredible.
He's done his last 3 fights. Everyone expected him to get beat off Hrgovic. Everyone thought the Miller fight would be close, and then everyone's doubted him. And you've got to take your hat off to him. It's heavyweight boxing. You're one shot away from being on your arse, and you're 2 fights away from a world title shot. In reality, you're 2 big fights away from being up there. And it's whether your face fits or not. And clearly, his face fits with Frank Warren. He's always been, Frank Warren's little prodigy, and credit to Frank Warren for sticking with him and proving everybody that he is the fighter that Frank's seen. And you've got to give Frank credit for sticking with him and building him the way he's built him, because he's just proved 10 million people wrong.
And the rest.
And you've got to give massive amount of credit to them.
Yeah, 100%. Just to people, amen to that. People saying after what you were saying, same from Wayne, Jams, preach, Stephen, says Mr. Neutral. Jam has come in and he said, do you follow the female boxing, Stephen? If so, who have you got out of Harper versus Dixon? What a cracking fight that is. And Sandy Ryan versus Mayer.
So this is going to be really, really, really like, I don't follow male boxing, never mind so I do podcasts like football, right? I'm sitting here listening to the Chelsea game this week, right? Football is my everything, right? Like Disney and football. So there's only two things that I can sit and watch all day, and that's football. I'll watch the 12:30 kickoff, the 3 o'clock kickoff, the 5:30 kickoff, and if there's a game at 7:30, then I'll put Match of the Day on. No problem. Give me 10 Disney films. I'll watch them back to back. No problem. All right,
quickly. What's your favourite Disney film? Put it out there.
So being born in 91,
this conversation with you.
Little Mermaid, Lion King, and Beauty and the Beast are all the three that I sort of watched religiously growing up. So what them three are still now. I'll just put them on. I'll just sit there I'm obsessed with them. So going back to that question, people do podcasts with us, and they'll go, who do you think will win, Ryan Garcia or Devin? And I go, I haven't got a fucking clue. Like I'd be sitting lying and saying, I think Harper's gonna stop her, because not that listen, it's just not something I enjoy watching. I enjoy getting punched in the face and punching people, but watching the sport, it's not something I enjoy watching. Ask us anything about football. Ask us where Newcastle finished, my favourite player. I'll sit and talk about that all day. But asking us about future fights and what I think about them, I'll tell you now that I haven't got a clue. But right, yeah. So it's got nothing to do with female boxing. It's male and female
across the board.
It's across the board in future fights. So I apologise for not being able to answer that question.
So it's more of a case of basically you do fantasy fights between Disney characters as opposed to
Gaston versus Beast and Mishu versus Lalo, and I just sitting to play them with my head.
Mate, there we go. Well, before we go, someone's put on here, Mr. Neutral, Keegan or McDonald?
Okay, and I was born in 1991. McDonald's way before my time. As was Keegan as a manager or Keegan as a player. I'm guessing he means Keegan as a player.
Who's your favourite Toon player then of all time?
Listen.
Come on, it's that easy, isn't it?
You've got to see Alan Shearer. The fact that he didn't go to Manchester United because of his below, you don't see that anymore. You do not see, these players now. It's all about that. It's all about money. And listen, if you're going to get up at 400 grand a week to go and play in Saudi instead of playing for the club you've been born at and grew up on, but Shearer, for what he done for the club, and the belief he gave people to say you can is it's just unbelievable to see and to witness that around the era that I was sort of up. I'm going to say Shearer for that one.
Well, as I say, before you go, obviously, I was born and bred in Colchester, if you've ever heard of it. And we gave one of our players to you back in the day, which was Lamana Teresa Luar. The man that was famous for the backflip.
I used to play with his brother Kasenga.
Yeah.
I was on the same academy as Kasenga, and Kasenga was fantastic. But
Yeah.
Luala he was a great player for Newcastle, and as you say, the backflips. I remember when he scored his hat-trick against Portsmouth. It was he was a great player for us.
No. Well, I'll leave it there. Honestly, all I will say is, Stephen, you're an inspiration. You know, the journey you've been on, the journey you continue to be on, and how open you are about your struggles and how you're willing to use the pain and the difficult times that you've been through to help others, just shows the sort of human being you are, mate. And it's an absolute pleasure to have you on and talk to you and get a little insight into who you are, you know, with the gloves off. And honestly, just a top individual. You know, I never thought I'd discuss Disney with you. I didn't think that would ever happen. But what we'll say is just thank you very much for your time. And as I say, the day I met you, I knew you were a special guy when the moment you came out of that ring and you'd taken a few shots. I think it's fair to say you came over and you had a selfie and your eye was like an egg and you went straight over to the fans and you were just embracing the front row. And I thought that guy is something special. And I wasn't wrong now meeting someone like yourself.
No, I really genuinely appreciate that. And, you know, as I said earlier, you know, we everyone should respect, no matter what you're doing, and you know, just respect the people who get where we are, because without the likes of yourselves doing this and taking your time as well as my, you know, people, it's not about my time, it's about the time you're taking as well, and you know, putting our names out there. So I appreciate that as well. So thank you, and thank you to everyone who's tuned in and asked questions, and I appreciate that as well. So yeah, I'm just as I say, I'm enjoying the journey and enjoying going around schools and naughty boys schools and places where I've been and being able to talk to kids and say, listen, you your own destiny. You can pick your own journey with, you know, it's about the people who surround you. So as I say, I'm just appreciating the journey and appreciating the ride.
And remember, Ra, no fucking tune-ups.
Fuck tune-ups, Ra.
So on that note, honestly, Stephen, you're an absolute star. Love to the family as well. Big shout out to the family, because you've got some amazing people around you. And we can't be ourselves without our family, can we? And I know what they mean to you. So,
Ohana means family. Family means never leave anyone behind.
Yeah, Sam sums it up well. Stephen, inspiration to so many out there, mate. Good luck, Stephen. Thanks for your career to boxing. He ain't done yet. And Jam, God bless Drago. So honestly, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. And I genuinely appreciate it. Thank you.
Honestly, stay in touch, mate. And we'll hope the operation all goes well. And the goes to plan. And we'll be back knocking people out next year as
definitely
as you should be. So thank you very much, mate. Take care.
God bless. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. God bless. Thank you.
See you, mate.